What's up, everybody? Magic with RacingDudes.com here to watch the Grade 1 Awesome Again Stakes at Santa Anita Park on Saturday, September 30th. Race 8 on the card. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. And if you want to watch the replay along with me as I analyze it, click the box right up here. You can also check the description box down below for the chapters if you want to skip ahead to when the race starts, or even just skip ahead to my post-race analysis. You have those options there. We're a minute to post. I'll go through this quickly. The pick 5 ticket that I did for the Magic Mike show, I singled the 3 Slow Down Andy. And this was 2 days ago on Thursday. I thought he had lone speed advantage here and just could go gate to wire. And then you see how the track has been playing today with they're calling it wet fast. Speed is incredibly favorable on the dirt. So now, that's a big reason why you see Slow Down Andy 5-2 second choice on the morning line. It's 9-5 right now on John White's morning line. It's not his fault that the weather got all screwy on him like this. So, I did have Slow Down Andy there. Defunded, I originally thought was going to be my pick in this race when I first saw the field. Defunded is the defending champion in this race. The problem is, I think Defunded only wins really if he can go gate to wire in a race like this. He's like the 4th or 5th fastest horse in here. The Bob Baffert stablemate, National Treasure, Juan Hernandez, the top rider for Baffert, is going to show up a National Treasure who adds blinkers again. I don't know why Baffert keeps taking him off. This horse always runs his best races, like the Preakness that he won, with the blinkers on. So watch out for him there. Stiletto Boy, I think, will get a nice stalking trip. Really, it's, the 3, 7, and 9 should be most forwardly placed early. I think that's just kind of how they finish here. This track has been incredibly hard to close on with this wet, fast nature. But we'll see what happens here. Stiletto Boy's going to be the last one. He is a gorgeous, gorgeous horse. Beautiful horse to watch. They're all in the gate. And they're off. Good break for everybody. You're going to see some horses take back right away, including Senor Buscador, Defunded. Yeah, right away. Slow Down Andy right to the front. And Senor Buscador, who was just to the inside of Slow Down Andy, is going to be 4th. Celestial Moon, the 6th horse, I wasn't sure if he was going to be forwardly placed or not. He is actually going to be 2nd. Going into the turn here. Defunded 3rd on the rail inside of him. Slow Down Andy, 22.97 for the opening quarter. 23 seconds basically. That's fast for a mile and an eighth race, but he was trying to get position. He's going to slow it down here on the backside with Mario Gutierrez aboard. 6 is giving him some pressure, and the 6 is running pretty strong. We've got the 2s Defunded in 3rd. National Treasure is between him. Looks like Stiletto Boy is in that mix as well. And then a bit of a gap back to Paroli, and then Bye Bye Bobby, and then another gap to Buscador and Skinner. 46.9, so he did slow it down. 24 seconds, but that still is, 47 seconds, sub 47 for the opening half is pretty fast. But this has been a very fast track today. 6 is thrown in the towel as they enter the far turn. It's going to be down to Slow Down Andy. Defunded off the rail, making a move with National Treasure to his outside. Mario has it. Mario's kind of looking back like waiting. Mario finally just sat down in the saddle right before the quarter pole and went, okay, it's time to start to get serious. Mario was very, very patient aboard that horse. All right, they're off the turn. He's got to get this distance, right? He's cutting back from a Mile and Quarter Pacific Classic that he ran very well in. Holy cow, Senor Buscador. He's not going to get there, but this horse unleashed out of nowhere. He's going to get 3rd. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, 7, 4 across. Skinner ran well to get up for 5th. I didn't see him coming at all either. Stiletto Boy last across. That's a shame. All right, let's talk about what we just saw there from Slow Down Andy. All right, like I predicted beforehand and predicted on Thursday's show, and Aaron predicted on blinkers off. Jared predicted on blinkers off. Mike predicted on the Magic Mike show with me. Slow Down Andy was lone speed in this spot. And then you see how the track has been playing today. Final odds, 2-1 on him. So that's actually pretty good considering he was getting bet so heavily. Slow Down Andy never super pressured. And again, I'm telling you, if you watch the replay, halfway through the turn, Mario was looking back trying to see where the Baffert horses or anybody was at. And as soon as he saw Defunded and National Treasure start to move up, he went from his kind of patient early riding to you literally see him sitting down in the saddle and go, okay, it's about to get serious. Excuse me, hell of an effort from the 3 Slow Down Andy to get the win the Grade 1 Awesome Again Stakes. So that kind of seals it as well. This is a horse that Had, last year as a 3-year-old, had an interrupted season, right? He won the Sunland Derby, was going to go to the Kentucky Derby, and then had to miss it. Came back in the summer and ran well, and then wins the Grade 2 Del Mar Derby on turf out of nowhere, but won at gate to wire. And then he goes to the Awesome Against Stakes this race last year and ran a good third behind Defunded, who won, and Country Grammar. And then he went to the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and it was like, okay, as a 3-year-old, he ran, that's impressive, and he ran very well. Got third behind Cody's Wish and Cyberknife, two very impressive horses in that race. We didn't see him for 7 months. He came back in the Met Mile. Extremely ambitious spot to return for any horse for 7 months, let alone this poor horse. So he didn't run well at all, but ran well in the San Diego. If you remember, the San Diego handicap was a race where it was just a unbelievably fast early pace, and Slid on Andy was the only one that survived the pace meltdown. He was second, and just Senor Buscador, like we saw here kind of in the Awesome Again, Buscador just with this impressive kick came flying. Last time Pacific Classic, went 1.25 miles, and he'd never gone that far before. And Slow Down Andy, to his credit, didn't stand up to Arabian Night and Go Rocket Ride, but did not disappoint, or did not do anything to make you go, well, that was bad effort. I mean, he ran third, beating a length and a half by by a lot of people's metrics. The Breeders' Cup Classic rankings are not necessarily in this order: Archangelo, Arabian Night, Go Rocket Ride. Slow Down Andy was 1.25 lengths away from them in that race, where Arabian Night had no pace pressure. And then you see him come back in this race and run that. That was very, very impressive. And I would say horse is kind of outrunning his breeding a little bit. I mean, it's Sarah Nyquist. I know he was a classic winner, but a lot of Nyquist offspring have been milers, 7 furlong horses, maybe mile and 16th, not mile and a quarter. And then Square Eddie, the dam sire, Square Eddie was a super influential sprint sire, dirt, turf, especially on turf. But there's nothing about the dam side that made you go, oh yeah, this horse is just screaming. There's no curling, there's no Dynaform or nothing underneath like that. So very impressive effort from this horse. He's really, other than the Met Mile, which was just super ambitious spot there, and the connections I'm sure would admit that as well. Really has not run a bad race, other than the Grade 2 Risen Star way back early in his 3-year-old year. So very impressive effort from him. As far as Defunded, I would assume you see Bob Baffert send him to the Classic. What else are you gonna do with this horse, right? You don't hold him back and target the Native Diver at Del Mar at the end of November. No, this horse will go to the Breeders' Cup Classic. He ran a good second. Slow Down Andy theoretically will add more pace pressure to Arabian Night, and that sets up things better for Defunded. So with Baffert, you're like, I've got him on the front end and I've got him stalking. It's going to be at Santa Anita. Defunded, historically a much better horse at Santa Anita than at Del Mar. So that works in his favor. So I assume we see him go there as well. The way Senor Buscador finished that, I don't know. I would cut him back to the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. I think that's better for him than 1.25 miles, but maybe nominate him for both. You've made enough money with him this year. I think you can do it. Trying to tell Joey Peacock how to spend his money. Honestly, that's what I would do if I was the Connections. I would nominate to both and see how the fields look for the Classic and for the Dirt Mile, and then you can officially decide before posts are drawn where you're going to go. But I think that that would be what I would do with him, because depending on how the field sets up and the pace, that's where he needs to go, is where the pace is going to be hotter. Fourth place, National Treasure, he faded. He was always like the B level, right? Like, he won the Preakness, but that was, I think, anyone would say that was the least impressive of the 3 Triple Crown races this year, even though the Kentucky Derby winner finished third in it, a well-beaten third. Yeah, I don't know. National Treasure, I would, especially because of who else that Baffert has, and if you look at the dirt route division, I'd pump the brakes on him for a little bit. Let him kind of sit, relax, maybe grow. Target the Pegasus with this horse. I think that'd be a good spot to go. Do something like that. Aim for the Pegasus with National Treasure. Let him take some time off. He really hasn't had much of a break. I mean, he had a break. Let's see, he was third in the Sham, and then we didn't see him again to the Santa Anita Derby in April. So we had 3 months off, but one of those, there was a vet scratch in March. So really, he didn't have any time off. So, give National Treasure some time off, see what you can do with him to develop and see what he comes back as for. Maybe target Pegasus, maybe Dubai, maybe you just, wait for the summer with him. So yeah, those are my thoughts, my rather long-winded thoughts on the Awesome Again stakes there. I was very impressed by Soda on Andy. I really liked what I saw there. So tell me what you think about it. Go Rocket Ride, Arabian Night, Archangel. I think those are still the top three, but Slow Down Andy finishing third here, boost those up, and he's a fun horse, right? We'll see what kind of odds we get on him in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He oftentimes, other than today, is usually pretty good odds. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section before you leave. Hit like on the video, subscribe to youtube.com/racingdudes. Share the video, share the channel with your friends. Tell them all about the World Championship coverage we are providing leading up to the Breeders' Cup. Until next time, good luck at the track. RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track. It's Breeders' Cup season, and we've got wall-to-wall coverage of the World Championships. Subscribe to youtube.com/racingdudes right now. Click the notification bell. You never want to miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.